A man from Venezuela was able to escape poverty by turning $400 into $30,000 through cryptocurrency. This is his story. Oscar is in his mid-20s. He comes from a single-parent household where he lives with his mother and younger brother. After finishing his degree in advertising and marketing, Oscar was hired by a local marketing agency for his first job after college. He was paid well by Venezuelan standards and could financially support his mother and younger brother. It felt like things were going well, but trouble was approaching. You see, in Venezuela, oil exports pay for the bulk of the country's imports. During 2014, oil was priced at $115 a barrel. By 2016, it had dropped to $45 a barrel. Low oil prices meant imports became unaffordable. Venezuela went through a major economic crisis. In 2018, the minimum wage was 3 million bolivars per month, roughly $1. A 5-pound chicken cost 14.6 million bolivars. The local currency became worthless. Oscar and his family were struggling. The local currency was devaluing against the dollar. Inflation was rampant. Oscar thought about working online at sites like Fiverr, but he realized he wouldn't be able to withdraw his earnings due to sanctions against Venezuela. This is because Venezuela is mostly cut off from the international financial system. At the time, Venezuelans couldn't receive dollars in their bank accounts, and most couldn't access Wise and other payment methods. Oscar didn't have a foreign bank account and didn't have any relatives in other countries. He was desperate to escape poverty, but felt stuck. He was watching his money, losing its value in real time. Oscar started browsing some online forums to see what he could do to improve his situation. He wanted to invest his savings and started reading about the stock market. It felt like an uphill struggle, but Oscar was determined to succeed. Oscar wanted a better life for his mother and younger brother. Oscar wasn't sure about the stock market. He wanted to invest in American companies, but didn't have access to American brokerages. He decided it wasn't the right fit for him. But in 2019, Oscar discovered something life-changing: cryptocurrency. Unlike with stocks, Oscar could access international cryptocurrency exchanges. He signed up for Binance and Uniswap. He deposited $400 and started doing small swing trades. Oscar felt confident because even if the internet went offline or sites got blocked, his crypto would be safe in his own wallet. In the beginning, Oscar chased quick profits. The volatility of crypto created opportunities to go long and short, but he felt it was getting too risky. Oscar decided to change his approach. He started buying cryptocurrencies with the intention of holding them for a long time. He wanted to buy projects with a solid long-term future. This way, he'd be comfortable holding them regardless of the price. Over time, his portfolio started growing. He resisted the temptation to panic buy the latest trending coin and didn't panic sell anything that was going down on paper. He set price targets for everything he was holding. By 2020, Oscar's portfolio contained Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pancakeswap, Chainlink, Stellar, NKN, and USD Coin. Now that his portfolio was complete, he just had to be patient and wait. 1 year had passed. It was February 2021, and the crypto market was booming. What begun with $400 back in 2019 was now worth $30,000 in 2021. This was crazy for Oscar. Most Venezuelans could only dream of getting this kind of money. It would probably have taken him 10 years to earn it by working a regular job. The apartment his family was living in was worth $20,000. Oscar now had enough money to buy another apartment and generate rental income. The strategy had paid off. Oscar was so glad that he discovered Pancakeswap and Chainlink, and he was rewarded for being early. He bought Chainlink when it was 30 cents per coin. By February 2021, it was worth around $28 per coin. Oscar had also managed to buy Pancakeswap when it was 44 cents per coin. By February 2021, it was worth around $12 per coin. Oscar was over the moon. He was also earning roughly $150 each month by staking his Pancakeswap. At one point, it even went above $800 per month. This was life-changing money for his family. Oscar started selling off $20 to $50 worth of crypto to pay for groceries. He paid for medical appointments for his mother and younger brother that they previously couldn't afford. But his family was confused. They didn't understand how Oscar was able to pay for everything. This was because Oscar didn't tell his family about his investment, which was a big part of what made it so successful. Oscar had only briefly mentioned being interested in cryptocurrency to his mother. He told her he was thinking of buying a small amount of crypto. She didn't understand what her son was doing to get this money, but figured it must have been related to cryptocurrency. She thought Oscar must be doing well, but had no idea just how much money her son had made. In fact, Oscar was even investing on his mother's behalf and had created a second portfolio for her. He wanted to tell her everything, but after thinking long and hard, he decided against it. He felt it was better if nobody knew the real amount of money he made with crypto. After all, Oscar knew lots of his distant relatives were struggling. In fact, only recently they had told his mother they were in serious debt and needed help. Almost everyone he knew smelt of desperation when it came to money. It would be safer for his mother and brother if only he knew the real numbers. For the first time, Oscar felt hopeful about his future. He wanted to travel to other countries and thought about how to permanently leave Venezuela. In the past, he'd lived in Colombia for a few months and had fond memories living there. However, Oscar decided it was better to stay in Venezuela. He hoped the economy would improve in the future. Fast forward to 2025, and Venezuela is still struggling with inflation. However, the rest of the world is not doing much better, with rising food and energy prices across the board. Bitcoin is now worth more than $100,000. Most countries have unofficially entered a recession. Did Oscar make the right decision? Should Oscar have stayed or left Venezuela? Should he have told his mother how much money he'd made from crypto? What would you have done? Let us know in the comments.